Hey there, everyone. This is Moshi ASMR, and today I'm going to be answering some of your questions since I got 1,000 subscribers. So, just a forewarning, if your question is not in here, it's probably because it was asked by someone else or because I didn't understand what you were asking. So, that being said, another thing, if anyone wants to timestamp any of these questions to make it easy for other people to find either what they asked or if they're just curious of something, the answer, and you do that, you will get pinned. So that would be overly helpful. Anywho, to the questions. If you hear mouse clicking or keyboard noises, it's because I have these all compiled in a folder so that I can flip through and just, go from question to question and answer it. So, that was my chair. Alright, so Blue asked, what is your favorite genre of music? Some of these are really hard. I actually like a wide assortment of music. I feel like if you only choose like, oh hey, I just like metal, everything else is garbage, or I just like pop, everything else is garbage, you limit yourself to a lot of what you can enjoy in life. So as long as it feels good or is awesome, I enjoy listening to it. So I can like anything from a wide assortment of metal, rock, to poppy shit, to K-pop or J-pop or J-rock. Yeah, I mean, there's so much stuff. So sorry if that didn't answer your question, but there you go. Blue also asked, what is your favorite anime and what is your favorite video game, if you play any? Yes, I do. So I'll start off with the favorite anime. I actually wound up writing these down because, again, I'm terrible at picking favorites. So I just wrote down some that came to me like right off the bat that are my favorites. So recently I've really enjoyed My Hero Academia. I love, one of my favorite horror anime is Higurashi. As well as Elfen Lied. I love Gurren Lagann and Kill la Kill. I love Fully Cooley, Erased, Full Metal Alchemist, Soul Eater. There's so much more, but they're not on here. I just really enjoy things that are interesting, out of the box, capture your attention, have a really good story. Favorite game-wise, this is another one. I couldn't pick one favorite because I like so many genres of games that it'd kind of be, insulting almost. I love Jak and Daxter. It's one of my favorite platformers from back in the day. It holds a very special place in my heart. So, I love a lot of the Final Fantasy games, but. And this is controversial because some people don't like this game, which I think is silly. But I love Final Fantasy X. I do love 7 and 9 and everything else. But 10 was the one that I first beat for myself. And I mostly grew up with playing. So it still to this day is my favorite. And it's one I pick up and I play at least once or twice every year. So I have a problem. I really enjoyed Undertale, and I'm preparing for the influx of people like, do a roleplay from Undertale. So, a game recently that's been my favorite is Nier Automata. I really, really loved that game a lot. I actually intend on probably getting a tattoo from it, because it spoke to me in a lot of ways. I love Majora's Mask. That doesn't mean I don't like Ocarina of Time, for anyone about to ask. It personally, Ocarina of Time just wasn't my thing. I really loved Majora's Mask for its really spooky kind of atmosphere. The music's fucking beautiful in that game. Pardon my language in this. Get prepared for it. And just the ideal behind Majora's Mask spoke a lot more to me than Ocarina of Time. I love the piss out of Skyrim. Once or twice a year, I wind up modding Skyrim and playing it again because I cannot stop myself. Like, if someone just mentions Skyrim, I gotta go mod it again. I will say, I played it several times on console, but it's nowhere near as enjoyable as modding it and doing some of the really cool stuff you can do on PC. So, and of course, I absolutely adore all of the Kingdom Hearts games. Primarily the main series. And I am absolutely overly hyped for the new game to hopefully come out this year. I've been crying like a baby over the new opening song that released, so and last kind of just really quick answers. I love Silent Hill. I love horror games. I have a love-hate relationship with anything horror related because I love horror. I love horror stories. I love horror games, but I have sleep issues, so sitting there thinking about the horror games make me not able to sleep any better. Oh, tiny shush. Alright, so moving on to the next question. Christopher 9306 Williams says, or asks, what's your favorite song? Off the top of my head, I can think of two, but as I said, I like a very wide assortment of music. But one of my favorites is 3 Libras by Tool, and another one of my favorites is Pagan Poetry by Bjork. So this username, Cummy Hands, asks, do you collect anything? I actually do. I am the weebiest of trash, and I collect Sonico figures, so do with that what you will. Formless Geometry asks several questions. Number one is, what got you into ASMR? I have really bad insomnia, really bad insomnia, and I usually can't sleep at night without some form of a medication. So I started watching ASMR. I had found out about it because I went to Google and I searched up, what is that tingly feeling you get when people play with your hair? And this was years and years and years ago. And a new thread at the time, because it hadn't really been searched into, came up that talked about ASMR. And so I went to YouTube and I immediately just searched it in, wanting to watch like a documentary or something. But I came across, I can't remember whether it was Research ASMR or Massage ASMR, one of their videos. And I watched it and I realized it gave me the same sort of feeling. And I was hooked. Every time I went to go lay down, I would watch ASMR videos and it would help me just cool down and relax. So, yeah. Number 2, what does your setup look like? To be completely honest, I am at my computer desk, sitting in my computer chair, with a Blue Yeti mic hooked onto a spider arm that can just bend up and down and move around. So kind of wherever I want to sit, I can use it. If I had a Zoom recorder, or if I had a mic that I could take around with me, I would love to go to other places in the house and do videos and whatnot there. But yeah, no, we're pretty much just stuck here for the moment. Number 3 is paper or plastic. This is a strange question, but I guess paper? I don't know. If we're talking about, checking out at a grocery store, I'm a lazy sack of shit, and I'll just go with a plastic bag. So, there you go. Rain or shine? The sun is the bane of my existence, so I don't go outside a lot, so I would much rather it be raining, so it's nice and peaceful inside, and it makes me want to go to sleep. Blue or green? Why not in the middle? I love the color turquoise, so let's do a combo of the two. Let's say that. Anywho, on to the next one. Oh, I say anywho a lot because it's just a habit of mine. I apologize. It will annoy you. Ghoulface asks, do you listen to ASMR yourself or just produce it? By the way, love your channel. Thank you very much for the compliment. I love you. Yes, I do listen to ASMR myself, as pointed out by the question a little bit ago. But yeah, there you go. Holden Bargist, I think that's how you pronounce your name, says, a question. Were you shocked to grow in subs so quick? Yes. I don't know where in the hell you all came from. I mean, I attribute it to the Yandere videos, because they got really popular. But I'm very thankful to have you all here. So I hope that answers your question. But yes, very much yes. I'm absolutely parched, by the way. I'm going to take a sip of soda. Much better. Okay. Jason Rock asked, what got you into doing this? This answer is actually going to be different from me talking about what got me into ASMR. What made me do this is I had kind of bounced all around on whether or not I wanted to do ASMR videos for a while. And to be honest, the first Yandere ASMR video I popped up on here, I was just hanging out in my house one day and decided, you know what, hell, I'll just record a silly little thing. And I recorded it, and it actually stayed on my computer for months, and I had forgot about it. And I came across it in my computer because I'd been indecisive on whether or not to upload it. And I was like, you know what, fuck it, let's do it. And I tossed it up. I didn't expect it to get any sort of traction. I didn't expect anyone to enjoy it because, when you think ASMR, you think of all the people who have, binaural mics. And so I was like, no one's gonna enjoy this. No one's gonna think it's, good. My voice is crummy, or at least that's my opinion of my voice. And so, to my surprise, people really enjoyed it. And so I was like, I am gonna produce all the material I can. Because whenever I go into something, I go into it a little too much. But, yeah. So, there you go. There's the answer to your question. Kaput Elephant 56 asks, since you were playing Running in the 90s in that one video, he's talking about the 420 subscriber thing, which, side note, I went from 420 subscribers to 1,000 in 2 days, and I don't know what happened. Thank you guys. Since you played Running in the 90s in that one video, I assume you've watched Initial D. Therefore, do you like cars? Surprisingly enough, I've only heard and seen clips from Initial D. I've never watched it. I do intend to, though. And do I like cars? I'm actually, not a massive car person. I don't, I have a very severe lack of knowledge when it comes to cars. But I do enjoy some racing games and some more car-based games. So, if that answers your question, then there you go. King Dubs ask, to start off, your videos are awesome. Thank you very much. My question is, what kind of material content were you thinking about making in the future? Well, of course, I'm going to wind up doing more Yandere ASMR. I mean, if it's bringing people in, I'd love to keep doing that. Some people suggested a while ago doing like vampire role plays and werewolf role plays, and I fully intend on doing that. I actually want to get some materials before I do those videos. That's why they've they're not happening yet. I also want to get to a point to where I do not only role plays, but I'd love to do some more quote-unquote normal content. So I'd love to do some, just sound-based videos, whether it be hand sounds or mouth sounds, or I wanted to try, I can't remember who did it, who I saw doing it first. I think it was Adra ASMR, but putting an umbrella over the mic and spritzing it with water. That sound is amazing. But yeah, there's so much, honestly, I want to do. And as I've said before, if you guys have any ideas or any requests that you want me to do, pop them below. I read a lot of the comments, even if I don't reply to you. I go and look at my comments a lot. So Nero asks, oh, this is one of my favorites. I better take a sip before this one. Your choices are 50 hawks, 10 crocodiles, 3 brown bears, 15 wolves, 1 hunter, 7 buffalo, 10,000 rats, 5 gorillas, and 4 lions. You can choose 2 species to defend you while all the other are actively trying to kill you. What do you pick and why? This is super easy for me. I would pick the 10,000 rats just because the sheer number alone and rats' pack mentality would be enough to kill a lot of anything. And aside from that, I would go with the 50 hawks, because anything else like the hunters or some of the other things, the 50 hawks would be way too busy trying to mess with that hunter and killing the hell out of him for him to ever shoot me. So I think that's a pretty solid decision. Kratos asks, how old are you? I don't know if I should tell people or not, but it's not like I really care if any of you know. I am actually 23 years old. So a lot of people tell me that I sound older than I am. And I think that's because I'm a little bit more slow and low-toned whenever I speak. And I'm also a little bit, I know, cliche, I'm mature for my age. I'm a lot more mature than most kids who are around my age. So, anywho. Ooh, I bumped my mic. Alfredo Sauce asks, will this be in the Q&A? Yes, son, it will. You are in the Q&A. Say hi. Lonic the Gamer has several questions. Oh lord, time to take a sip again. The reason I'm taking so many sips of drinks, by the way, is because I just woke up like an hour ago, and I'm still very dry in the throat, so I don't know if you play games, but if you do, what are your favorite video games? That has been answered a few questions ago. 2. What is your favorite series? I've mentioned some of my favorite anime series, but if we're talking TV, I honestly, whenever it comes to TV, a lot of the times I just watch a lot of trash reality television that I can mindlessly like watch in the corner of my TV while I'm playing video games. So all of that cringy stuff. I also really heavily enjoy watching RuPaul's Drag Race. I love that. It gets me going. I used to watch Supernatural. I've not caught up at all. I need to sit down and binge watch the whole season. I like Face Off. Oh god, there's so much shit that I watch. So this is probably not at all helpful, but there you go. And 3 is, how long have you been on YouTube? If we're talking about how long I've been watching stuff on YouTube, I've been watching stuff on YouTube since way, way back towards the beginning start, when the pages for everybody were totally different and people could still do reply videos and they would be at the bottom of someone's video area. You could see all the responses to their videos. So a while ago, I would say it's probably been, how long has this site been up? Like 9 years? I don't know, probably somewhere around there. Oh yeah, and congrats on hitting 1,000 subscribers. Thank you very much, Loning the Gamer. I appreciate the compliment. Michael Turner asks, where are you from? Very well put. But I am from the South. I don't know if I want to go too heavily into it. I don't think any of you guys are going to take and stalk me or anything. But I am... Ooh, I can give you 5 areas I'm possibly from. I'm possibly from Alabama. I'm possibly from Mississippi. I am possibly from Virginia. Possibly from Tennessee. Or I am possibly from... What's another one I can add? Florida. There you go. Nightbit or Nightbit. What's your real name? I'm not going to tell you my first name, but I will tell you my middle name. My middle name is Luna. So, there you go. My parents were hippies. Are you lesbian? This is actually a very interesting question. Not for what you may think. I mostly identify, there's that word. I identify as pansexual. And I don't really like the term that much because it was mostly put together by Tumblr back in the day. But it primarily means I don't see someone just based on their gender. I don't just go, hey, do you have a dick or a vagine? Whenever I go to like someone, I just fall in love with someone's personality. And the reason I classify it as pan more so than bisexual is because with bisexual, you have it's basically one or the other. A lot of bisexual individuals, and this is not all, if you fall into this category, then, there are several bisexual individuals who do not enjoy the thought of dating someone who is trans, or they wouldn't be comfortable with it. They prefer either a biological male or a biological female. And I'm not that way, honestly. Like, if you're a cool person and I fall in love with you, I fall in love with you. But that being said, I sadly am taken. Not sadly, I mean, if anybody on here was curious and thought I was cool or whatever, I'm letting you all know that I am taken. I've been taken for a while. So, yeah, hope that answers your question. I love this guy's username. Naruto Fanboy asks, number 1, will you be doing another Yandere ASMR video again one day? Yes, there will probably be a lot more. I'm just trying to come up with ideas, honestly, to go into them or things to do. So again, if you have any ideas on what Yandere like videos I should do, let me know, or sounds you want to hear. Number 2, do you have a gaming channel or play games? If so, which ones? I had a channel I started way back in the day. That's ancient now. And I only did 2 videos on it. I did a Amnesia Let's Play, and I did a Crash Bandicoot, run 100%. And I only did 1 or 2 videos for each of them, because the laptop I had at the time just deceased. I've thought about doing a gaming channel with a friend of mine. So if I do, I'll probably link that on here at some point. Number 3, and last question. Do you have any pets? If so, which ones? Get prepared. I have 2 cats, who you'll probably see in later videos. And you can also hear eating in the background because they're fat. I looked at her and she stopped eating. Jesus Christ. I have 2 cats. I also have 2 ferrets, who I love very much. And currently, I have 5 little baby chicks that I am raising and will be going outside in about a month or 2. P.S. You the best. Nah, you the best. Naruto fanboy also asked, will you do another cat video in the future? Please do. I intend to do several more with my cats, honestly. The mic test wound up being a mistake. Well, not mistake, it just kind of happened out of nowhere. And I realized that one of my cats makes very pleasant noises, so I was like, oh, I'll have to do this again. This is really nice. Omega the Legend asks, are you a meme page admin? That's really out of nowhere, but I think I've worked on 2 like Facebook meme pages in the past. One of them I'm no longer a member of, and the other one I just run by myself. And maybe at some point I'll mention it on here. I don't know. There's some offensive content on there. But yes I do, actually. Pumpkin Flip has like 20,000 questions, but that's okay. Number 1, what inspired you to do ASMR? That's been answered. 2, do you have any ASMR artists you enjoy? Oh god, this is so hard. I love a lot of ASMR artists. I used to watch massage ASMR a lot in the past. Sorry, I was taking another sip of my drink. I used to watch massage ASMR artists in the past a lot. He was one of my favorites. I think his name is Mikolo. He does a lot of the really awesome hand sounds videos. I love those. I love Pomo ASMR. I love her content so much. I also like, I believe her name is Dana ASMR and Zoe ASMR. I love a lot of the Korean ASMR artists. I find that the Korean language is really nice for mouth sounds whenever spoken. But they also do a lot of like ear noises, mouth sounds, tapping videos, mukbangs, all kinds of stuff. So I really love their content. I can't remember whether his name is Lovely ASMR or Lonely ASMR S. I think it's Lovely ASMR. He's absolutely amazing. I love his stuff. There's honestly so much content that I've flipped through. I watch a lot of stuff because sometimes I'll just sit in my bed for like hours and just watch a bunch of ASMR videos. So, number 3, what kind of music do you enjoy? I've answered this question towards the beginning of the video. 4, favorite movies or shows? Okay, this person asked movies. I've already answered for show. Oh god, my cats are making noises. I've already answered for shows, but I haven't answered for movies, so. Favorite movies or shows? I've answered for shows, but I haven't answered for movies. I really like a lot of the Studio Ghibli movies. I really I enjoyed Spirited Away a lot, and Howl's Moving Castle, and a lot of their other like lesser known titles as well. I'm trying to remember the name of that one. I can't remember whether it was Marnie or Mary or something like that. But yeah, some other movies that I really love. I love Treasure Planet, Titan AE. I really like animated movies that have a lot of sort of action and depth to them. Aside from that, some actual like live action movies that I like, or I guess classified as live action. I love The Labyrinth and The Dark Crystal. And I really enjoy The Time Traveler's Wife. Oh god, there are a lot. A lot of them I can't think off the top of my head, but I hope that answered somewhat. 5 is favorite holiday. I really like Halloween because I am very spoopy, and I like any excuse to decorate my house and dress up like a crazy person. So 6, do you play video games? Any faves? As you can tell, I've answered that question before. 7, what is the story behind the name Moshi? Okay, this is really cool. So I actually don't know what caused it to happen. About 5 or 6 years ago, I used to do music covers on actually this exact channel, and the name I came up for myself was Moshi Dubs, and it just kind of stuck. And once I wound up doing ASMR, I was like, oh, I'll just name it Moshi ASMR. So, it's strange, actually, at the time, way back when, I didn't even know what mochi was. So, it's not like I used that to come up with a word. It just kind of came out of nowhere. So, sorry for so many questions. Haha. It's no big deal, Pumpkin Flip. I appreciate it. Rewenrick? I don't know how to pronounce your name. Okay, here are a couple of questions. 1, when did you start experiencing ASMR? The first memory I have of experiencing ASMR was whenever I was in about 1st or 2nd grade. I went to a school that wasn't very great on how well they kept students' hygiene or anything like that. So one of the children brought in lice, and everyone in the grade caught it. So whenever I went home, my mom had to do one of those lice kits, and they have these really fine combs, and your parents have to spend like hours going through your hair. And of course, at the time, I had like mid-back length hair, so she spent about 2 hours just combing my hair. And I always noticed that it made me really, really, really calm. So I started going back to her and asking her to brush my hair before bed. And I didn't think anything of it. I thought everybody else just felt that way. And of course, when I get older, I mentioned it to someone, and they thought I was just totally weird for it. And so that's kind of what started me looking into ASMR and everything. 2, what was your first thought about it? Well, once I discovered what it was, I was like, oh, I finally have a name for this weird thing that I've not been able to describe for literally like 14 years of my life. But whenever it first happened, I was very confused by it. But when you're a kid, you're just like, oh, this thing feels good, so I'm gonna do this all the time. So 3, and will you make another Yandere video? Yes, of course. That has also been answered. What in the hell are some of your guys' names? Like, I'm actually impressed. This name is Royale. Senpai's only yanderes are loyal music. What? That noise that you hear in the background is one of my cats who enjoys jumping into a window that we've covered with plastic for isolation. Or insulation. Insulation, not isolation. Oh my god. But the cat will remove the plastic and jump up into the window because he's mean and he likes to do it all the time. What is your favorite song? As I've answered before, it's 3 Libras by Tool or Pagan Poetry by Bjork. Do you mind making a girl Yuri and push her ASMR channel? I don't know what you mean by that question. And if you take and comment below and explain what you were meaning, I'll probably reply there. But I don't know what you're meaning by that. Do you plan another Yandere ASMR or something similar like vampires? Yes, I actually intend to do both of those. Side note, you are awesome. Stay low-key, please. Thank you. I think you are awesome as well. If I can stay low-key, I will. But honestly, like, at the rate that some of these videos are growing and the channel's growing, there's nothing I can do about it, so... someone with a Japanese name replies, oh, awesome. These are my questions. Do you watch anime? If so, what are your favorites? I've answered this a little bit earlier in the video. What is your general opinion on yanderes? This is an interesting question because I don't think yanderes are inherently bad or good. If I were the kind of person and I had a significant other or someone who was interested in me who was yandere, I'd be the idiot that complied and was like, okay, as long as you don't kill anybody else, we're good. Like, you can have me. For me personally, I think it's nuts, but I also think it's flattering to have someone who's so into you that they would go to crazy extents to have you notice only them. But I also think that it's extremely unhealthy, and if someone did it in real life, that they would need a little bit of help. But whenever it comes to anime, I really enjoy yandere characters. I think it's interesting how being in love with someone can make people crazy. But it's not a good or a bad thing. What are your hobbies? I have a lot, actually. I really enjoy crafty things. I actually dye and make a lot of my own clothing. I like to crochet. I like to knit, you know, all that grandma stuff. I really enjoy cooking. And I really enjoy, like, making little clay figures or making resin pieces or making molds for resin pieces. There's just a lot. Aside from that, you know, I enjoy taking care of animals. I don't know if you'd consider that a hobby, but, you know. SS Josen ask, can you do any kind of accents? I'm from the South, so I of course can sound more Southern than I currently do. My voice, the way it is actually, I was born in a place in this state that's very, very, very Southern, very Southern, to the point to where most people sound like Boomhauer from King of the Hill. They talk very fast and they have a very thick Southern accent, and I've learned kind of how to tame it down a lot because I didn't want people to see me as uneducated or as anything lesser than I was. So I learned how to make my voice sound a little bit better and more pleasant to the ears. But yeah, my accent growing up was a lot thicker, a whole lot thicker, and sometimes it fades in and out if I hear someone speaking Southern for a little bit too long. Aside from that, I have different tones of voices. I can do really high-pitched voices or very low-pitched voices or sultry sounding voices or crazy sounding voices, you know, all that voice actor stuff. But aside from that, you know, I can do the overly stereotyped, mildly like Australian voices or British voices, but those aren't very accurate. So, Survey ASMR, or Survey SMR, ask, yo, my question is, do your family or friends know you have this channel? Have you told anyone? And do you know anyone that watches? I have some friends and my significant other both know that I do this channel. One of my friends actually helps edit the videos. So I've told them. I also have another friend who knows, but she doesn't really know what ASMR is. Do you know anyone that watches? Of course, the person who helps me edit my videos, he watches. I guess that's more than one question, but it's all sort of the same. Also, congrats on 1K. Thank you very much. Thank you for your question. Triggered and you know, ask, what social media, if any, do you use the most? I actually don't use social media a lot at all, but if I used any, it would probably be Facebook a lot, because a lot of the people who I've known throughout my life and whatnot are on Facebook, so that's kind of the only way to get a hold of certain people anymore. So, Valentin Jachenko? Man, I tried. 1. Are you doing something besides YouTube? School, job, etc.? I currently, I own some shops on Etsy, or well, a shop on Etsy. And so I make some money off of that. But aside from that, no, not a whole lot. I'd like to do some online college eventually, once I have some extra finances. But that's a story for the future. 2. Do you play any instruments? I actually play acoustic guitar. I used to go around and perform and sing at one of the towns where I live, but that was years and years and years ago, before my social anxiety got very, very, very terrible. 3. Which series anime do you watch currently, if you currently watch some? This is a bit different from previous questions, so I will answer it. I'm actually running my fiance through Kill la Kill because he had never seen it. We were also watching Darling in the Franxx. I've been keeping up with My Hero Academia. I'm trying to think if we're watching anything else. I can't remember the name of it, but it's the one that's 3D and has the characters that are all based off of gemstones. We've been watching that one. And there are some other ones that we flip from time to time and just watch, or that I'm trying to get him to watch. For everyone who's reading this, hope you are doing well. Well, I'm reading this, and I am doing well, so thank you. And I think that's all the questions we have, actually. So, I'm sorry if you had a question and it wasn't posted in the time frame when I recorded this video, or I'm sorry if your question didn't get answered. But more than likely, if I hit 2,000, I may do this again, or I may just do this randomly again. But if I do, I'll post a comment in a video that'll ask you guys for questions. But yeah, if you want to know anything else, feel free to ask in the comments or whatever, and I'll try and get back to you. But I hope you all have an absolutely lovely day, and I hope I answered your questions efficiently. So I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.